welcome to this week's of MEA Cafe. I'm your host, Sarah Masood, right here with Middle Eastern American Television. I have three special guests with me, and I'm going to go ahead and start with Amanda. Go ahead and down the line, you guys can introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Amanda Casa.
I'm Blake George.
Kristen Sigmani.
And let the viewers know where you guys from.
We
Blake.
are Shenandoah's Next Generation Committee.
And that's what you guys, that's the youth group?
Yes.
Now, Shenandoah is a country club for those who are not aware of it. Give a little bit of an exposure to what the club does as a banquet hall. Blake, do you want to answer that?
So the club was established for the Chaldean community. The banquet hall in particular hosts pretty much, I would say, 80 to 90% of the weddings in the community. It's a gorgeous facility built, I want to say it's got to be 7 to 10 years old now. Built this phenomenal building for the community. We have a cultural center that's being built now that we raise money for. And really, you know, anything that in the community that people want to, I guess, use the banquet halls for, weddings, you know, ceremonies, holiday extravaganzas, meetings, we provide all those services at the club for them.
You just mentioned that Shenandoah is building a cultural
Correct.
hall. And what is its purpose then?
The cultural center, you know, for a lot of us who were born, you know, here, we don't know what happened besides the stories of back home. So the cultural center is being built for the younger generations.
Okay.
And, you know, our generations and even younger for our kids, so they know what, you know, our grandparents and our great-grandparents came from, what they went through, and, you know, the artifacts and pictures and things like that from the old country in Talcab, Baghdad, Iraq.
When you explain the cultural center, I think of a museum. Is it going to look like a museum?
It's going to be a smaller version of a museum, and the layout is actually, from what I've seen, it's very beautiful, it's very engaging, and it really is such a jewel for our culture and our community to have a place like that for our generation, for upcoming generations. And we don't really have a place like Shenandoah, or besides Shenandoah in our community, where, you know, it's strictly for Chaldeans, by Chaldeans, and to further generations of Chaldeans. So it's really nice.
So you guys mentioned the youth group. Amanda, do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, Blake had an idea of forming a junior board, is what we originally kind of started calling ourselves, and brought together 10 different people, each of which had different friends. We're all Chaldean, but we are in different groups, so that way when we introduce new people to the club or existing members, we're all friends, but we can each have our own table and invite others that may not be aware of, you know, because we're there all the time eating with our families, but we wanted them to introduce their friends and bring younger people to the club to eat on Wednesdays.
So why did you guys think that this was important? Blake, why did you think this was important to start?
Well, originally what happened was I was sitting with my father at dinner, and I think my grandfather as well, and I said, you know, why aren't there more young people at the club? You know, where are all the girls? Where are all the guys? Why isn't anyone socializing? It's, you know, the country club, in essence, has a, you know, the country club feel. Every country club's the same way. So, you know, what can we do different?
Yeah.
And the conversation passed. We had a great dinner and went home. And a couple weeks later, my dad walked in my office and he goes, "Congratulations, you're the new chairman of the youth committee board that we initiated." So I'm thinking to myself,
it worked.
What's that? Yeah, I was like, well, what's that? He said, well, you're going to make the things you talked about happen. Bring more young people to the club. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, what are we going to do? So then, you know, the idea of the dinner parties, things like that came across. So I called a lot of my close friends. I knew, like Amanda said, we're in different kind of cliques or different kind of groups of friends. Everybody jumped on board. It was absolutely amazing. Not one person said, oh, that's cheesy, or, you know, that won't work out.
That's cool.
It was amazing response. And I even said that. I said, hey, guys, I want you to be on this. You know, go ask your friends, what do they think? And they all said the same thing. They're like, I can't believe such an amazing response we're getting. So what happened was we all met as a committee. We tried it out a few weeks just to see if, you know, the club would withstand the new generation. Wanted to see what people would think, what we can change. And we brought in the younger people, our close friends. So we knew, you know, if something was messed up, we could fix it. And they wouldn't blame us for it. They would always come back. They pretty much had no choice. So it worked out very well. We encouraged a new specials menu. A lot of different things to bring in the youth generation. Specials, especially with pricing, and that's where, you know, the junior membership, the board has been amazing, allowing us to do, you know, giving us the freedom to allow the junior members to come in at a discounted rate, between a certain age group. I believe it's 24 to either 27 or 30. I have to double check that number. Probably.
Just elaborate on this, because I'm getting the vision that there is 2 groups. One is junior and one is youth, or is it one?
It's all one.
It's all one.
It's
Yeah.
just
So
one, but different titles?
yes, well, no, it's one title, I think.
It's
yeah.
one title, and that's kind of why in the beginning when we had our initial meeting, we said, what are we going to call ourselves, the junior board, just because there's the initial senior
Okay.
board. And that's
Senior
kind
are
of-
the older
Yeah,
generation.
the regular Shenandoah board, and
pops,
so
right?
we kind of
Pops.
The fathers you don't
Pops,
want to
For the
hang out
most part,
with.
yeah. Those guys, it's been our dad's club
Yes,
all these years. And
exactly.
So you guys wanna take
So we
over?
We're taking
figured
over.
the
We're
next generation is a good name to call ourselves.
Okay, now you said you wanted to change up a little bit the menu, the pricing.
The
What
atmosphere.
did you change about it to kind of have the young crowd come in?
Well, it wasn't so much as changing the menus, but allowing specials. The menu's phenomenal. The food is absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure you've
Let's
eaten
not
it
get
yourself.
hungry. So
Yeah.
let's just minimize
So-
that
So
part right
good.
now.
But,
But
you know,
like, yeah, but what is that?
well, here's what happens. So everybody's going to the club anyways, right? With your family. You get a combination plate. You get some normal Arabic food, what they offer. All delicious. Sorry to make you hungry.
It's okay. It's just, I'm a sweet tooth, so as long as you
Okay.
don't talk about dessert, I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
We
We're
will.
going
Well,
to that next.
that's next. So we'll break for that. But we want, we knew that people were going to local restaurants,
Right.
and what were they doing? Why were people going there and not coming to the club? So we said, do we want to see older members at the club? You see your grandparents, your uncles, your dads, your cousins. It's not the atmosphere you want to hang out with your friends at. So what we did was we kind of put down our foot and said we want all young people to come. Adding specials, mostly appetizers and drink specials, just so that groups of girls, groups of guys would come after work, after school, and just hang out, kind of lounge and
Oh, well, the
just chill.
smartest thing is to have a drink special. I
Drink
mean,
specials
well,
are
that
important.
helps.
that alone can get
20%
everybody.
off
20%
bottles of
off
wine.
bottles of wine.
Yes.
I'm so,
And the desserts are phenomenal. And I think what's really important, because we're not dining with our parents,
Right.
is that it is very affordable.
Yeah.
It's very It's very reasonably priced, and it's delicious.
And,
the food
and
there
don't
is
forget,
phenomenal.
Shenandoah, I want to say maybe a year or two now has had the cash card, which
Okay.
allows your parents, or the member, senior member, to put cash on the card so you have an account. Similar to like a house account, you just charge on the account.
so your parents can give you an allowance for
Basically-
Shenandoah.
His parents, not
Yeah,
my
yeah.
parents.
Oh.
Yeah.
So basically, I haven't paid for a
That's
dinner
funny.
yet. I support myself, but when I'm there, it's going right on Pops'
Yeah.
account
Oh,
every time.
nice.
Every time. So
That's
if you want a
smart.
drink, let me know because I'm not paying for it.
Or dessert.
So
We've got
I just put it on your
Yes.
name.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Drop Blake's
Blake
name.
George, everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the name you want.
Everyone, Rodney's gonna be pissed.
He's not going to be happy.
That's funny. Now, on Kristen, just talk to me about the atmosphere right now. You walk in. What's it like?
Well, the dining room it's already a very beautiful place. It's the members' dining room, and prior to our little Wednesday venture, it was only available to members. It's formal, it's beautiful. The decor is it's really beautiful. But on Wednesdays we change it up a little bit. The lighting changes, the mood changes, the music changes. We've kind of moved the tables around. We've tried to provide a little bit of a lounge for people to socialize, network. And it's much more comfortable than on any other night of the week, if you are in our generation.
Okay.
There's really very few of the grandparents and parents tables, and there's really many more of us.
They
And
kind of like stick around.
yeah,
Well,
it's
the
fun.
funny
You get to
thing is-
walk around
yeah.
every table and say hi to your friends,
Yeah.
and you share meals, and you talk about what you ate, and you drop. I mean, I see tons of people dropping their business cards to their people,
Okay.
and it's
So
it's
plus
great.
people can come network,
Oh,
meet other
yeah.
people, get a job. Maybe somebody
Get
can
a
be
job,
like, okay,
find a
you know.
significant other down the
Get
road,
married.
get
Yeah.
married, who
I'll
knows?
put you on the spot with the marriage thing because you guys said you want people to marry your culture. Chaldeans can marry Chaldeans. That bond. Speaking of that bond, was when you were talking about starting this organization, you shared your ideas with all your friends, and not one of them turned you down. You guys have a good, strong bond with each other, and you guys encourage each other. So obviously now you guys are all in this club. You're in there. You're eating. You're mingling. Who flirts with who?
I flirt with everyone.
Everyone. He goes
Blake
to every
is
table.
musical chairs at every single girl's table in there.
Every table.
Okay, so it's a very fun atmosphere. You guys can have a little fling.
It is. You know what? It's really comfortable. Like even as a girl, like you're going to your girlfriend's tables. You see your cousins at a guy, at a guy's table, and they're friends, and you're saying hi to people. I mean, and I mean, Amanda can probably talk about this a little more, but it's really nice to just see people of the opposite sex and not feel the anxiety or the pressure of like
shy.
talking to people or and being shy. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like home. I mean, it's home to us because our parents have been members there always. But I'll tell you the truth. Every time I've gone there prior to this new program or this new venture, I've only ever been with my family because it's not. I just never felt like it was warm enough for me to go there with my girlfriends.
Okay.
And now, my girlfriends and I, we love it. We sit there, we socialize, we eat amazing food.
So you'd rather obviously go to Shenandoah than just any restaurant? Because sometimes it's hard.
Truly.
Like, where do we go? What choice of restaurants
Well,
do
we spend all these years going to all these other restaurants.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we've been at Shenandoah every single Wednesday since
and now
we started.
you guys can put your funds into a club that actually gives back to the
Our
community.
club,
Sure. Your own
Exactly.
club.
She said it right. It's our club. We
Yeah.
support our home. This should be our
That's
second
true.
home.
Now, having you guys be part of Shenandoah, what impresses you about the youth and their involvement?
Oh, I'm the oldest one sitting here, so,
So what-
I have to say that I think it's amazing seeing these youth being more active, being more involved, because I think at some point you think, well, no one's going to do it, and it's just going to, is the club really going to thrive? Is it always going to be just our dad's club? And Blake did something really genius, is he took 10 strong members, the senior members, and he took their offspring, and he got them involved. Can I name drop them now?
I tricked them. So yeah,
He
go
tricked
ahead.
them. He got
Manipulated
I-
them.
He did.
That's a man trait.
Besides Amanda and myself that he suckered into this little thing, he got Carlo Cusa involved, Sean Namu, Joey Jonah, Rena Calabat, Kenise Farida,
Alyssa Lucia,
Lucia, Jordan Jonah, and I think that's all of us,
That's
right?
us.
Yeah, there's 10 of us. So they took 10 senior members, and our parents are all very social. Our club is like their baby, besides us.
That's remarkable.
So I think that I can speak on behalf of probably all of our parents. They're so thrilled that we are doing something to help our club, because it's not theirs anymore. Pretty soon it's going to be ours.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of the parents originally we were like, no parents,
Yeah.
no one come. They all want to come hang out at the club now. They want to
On Wednesdays.
the
So
youth night.
have you guys made a sign yet with that sign with the parents? You
No,
guys
no
should do
parents
that.
allowed.
No parents
Well,
allowed.
about
Right,
sure,
sure.
yeah.
We're actually going to build cages like Parent Trap. We're going to put them in there so we can.
We
take
had a
over.
brilliant idea, and are we still going to do it? We were like, let's put all the parents in like one area so they don't like mix in. Like we're trying to
And
segregate
fence it,
our
right?
parents.
You're gonna fence that area.
Yes.
Yeah.
No trespassing zone.
Put them in the basement.
Now, do you guys offer hookah? A lot of youth would want to go down
Well,
somewhere else.
we have
hookah.
Shenandoah has a smoking lounge in the
Okay.
basement that's separate from the actual club. It's a private
Okay.
thing. The option is there
Yeah.
for members. We have to look at the legality
Okay.
coming up, but it is an option when we open up the balcony. Not
Okay,
inside
perfect.
the dining room, but
Yeah.
the balcony right outside is gorgeous. It's huge.
Beautiful.
You've probably seen it at weddings and whatnot. It all connects, and in the summer, it's definitely something that
It
can happen.
overlooks the pool. It overlooks the beautiful golf course, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait for the summer. We've got even more things planned for the summer.
Okay, I just had to ask that because obviously it's huge in our culture,
is.
It
so
is.
everybody's gonna be, well, is there a hookah there? Because if
It
there
is.
isn't, then
Not
so
yet.
that's really cool.
Not
Not
yet.
yet,
Not
but
yet.
soon. Now, obviously, you guys mentioned that everybody wants to meet their significant other. Now, there is like a no judgment zone, obviously, right?
Yes.
Because obviously, a girl doesn't want to approach a guy just to be friendly, and it's not that she's gonna pursue him, but no guy and girl get
No,
cocky in that conceitedness,
There's-
that
it's
no
very
attitudes
friendly.
like that.
Very
It's
friendly.
really warm there. I have to say. I mean, you can go to any other restaurant, and it's not like Wednesdays at Shenandoah. I mean, the dining room, it's so warm, it's so friendly, and I really encourage people to just drop by another table. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's it could be a job opportunity for you.
Yeah.
It could be you could meet your best friend there or a significant other. But
Half the time you go there expecting